This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Deyvis Ferreira, and Kristen Gilreath. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Hannah Green and Elspeth Ahola to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team as our newest producers. So that is very exciting. We also have annual renewals from Jennifer Cox and Lance Barden. So that is awesome. We're super excited to have your support. Lance Barden also increased his pledge to become another producer for our team. So this is a very exciting time. We're super excited. Hannah, Elspeth, and Lance join the ranks of Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Mozai, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Margaret, Charlie Has, and Adam. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. We really couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we are talking about Chapter 12 of Winter's Heart.
Yeah, so Chapter 12 is A Lily in Winter. And before we start things, we do technically have a guest.
We have a guest.
We
We're
do.
So excited to have you with us.
Didn't work out exactly the way we said it was going to work out.
We're liars.
It's not Tyler.
We're certainly liars.
But we're very happy to have Spencer back on the podcast.
I know. I was listening to your last episode and they're like, we have a guest. It's like, oh yeah, I'm coming on and come on. And then you guys go on and on about Tyler. And I thought, no, it's me. I thought we confirmed this. What's happening?
That's because we're bad at planning.
We're bad at planning. And turns out this is a good chapter for you to join us for.
Yeah. I had to promise Tyler some things, but it's okay.
I believe you.
It's okay.
It all works out for the best. We're super happy to have you here virtually joining us, Spencer.
Yes. Yeah.
And congratulations on your new baby. So you get to drink with us this time.
Yes, I'm very excited to be enjoying a glass of wine this time. Last time was, obviously it's always fun doing a podcast with you guys, but it changes the dynamic when you're not drinking and getting to participate in the shots and all that kind of stuff. So yes.
But hey, I think we're all going to need to take a couple of drinks for this episode. So for as a precursor, this is like a pretty important episode for a lot of people in the series. Yeah. It's a lot of people's favorite chapter of the book.
I believe it.
Some people's favorite chapter of the entire series. It's a pretty big one. It's important.
Yeah, and I'm always really excited to be here. You know me. I love my girls, and this is a big chapter for them.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
certainly girl power for sure.
Yeah.
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
I guess. Okay.
We are
choice
family.
Of words. It's good.
We are family.
You got all my sisters and me.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
And I just love being so right about so many.
Oh, it's really funny the way things have played out in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, well, you wanted me to think that Min was just going to wander around the palace and not go get Elaine and Aviendha. No freaking way. No.
In another universe, maybe it didn't work out so smoothly.
Maybe not in this one though.
Yeah.
Okay, start us off.
Yeah, so I do want to start us off. It's a very special event happening today. What with the bonding of Rand by Aviendha, Min, and Elaine.
Which, oh my god,
we're going to talk about that.
You know what?
We'll get there.
Okay. And I have some thoughts.
We'll get there. This is the fun fact. So today's fun fact is all about bonding in the Wheel of Time, based on some old interviews with Robert Jordan.
Ooh.
From between 1998 and 2004. So before the series was done, way back then. So it's good. So a couple of questions. There's 3 questions about bonding that were asked at different times, and I'm going to tell you RJ's answers. So the first one I'm going to start with is this. Is it possible for an Ogier to be bonded as a warder?
Okay.
Yeah. Good question.
Who asked that question? Who cares?
Yeah. Well, someone did.
Okay. Actually, okay. I'd want Loyal as my warder.
So here's the thing.
Remember him at the Battle of Two Rivers, and he was really good. So
yeah, who wouldn't want an Ogier swinging a big axe?
Yeah.
Right?
I like protecting you.
Yeah.
Loyal guy.
Now, there is an asterisk on the question because they do state, hey, I'm not asking if it'll happen because at this point the books are released.
Could somebody do
is it physically
or is
possible?
It just a human to human thing?
Exactly. Okay. So they go on to say, we know that Ogier can be fierce warriors, so that shouldn't be a problem, like the fighting thing for warders. Perhaps the bond could somehow reduce the longing ? An Ogier would make the perfect warder for a Brown if the bond were possible.
Oh, that's true.
Books.
That is very true.
It's a solid question.
You know what? I'm liking this question more.
Now, Robert Jordan's answer was such a bond would be possible, but an Ogier would find it very strange to be asked to do that. And I can't think of an Ogier on this side of the Arth Ocean who would be willing to accept.
I think Loyal would.
Well, I mean, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, that's question number one. Mm-hmm. Question number two, is it possible to bond a Murdral, like a warder?
Oh,
for the Black Aja or Forsaken, for example, what happens then to such a person?
Sure.
A little bit less. I'd probably not want that. I'd rather have Loyal. But
if I was a Black Aja,
maybe. Yeah. Well, let's just wait for the answer here. So Robert Jordan says
the Murdral wouldn't want to kill you.
Yeah. Okay. True. So Robert Jordan's answer is it would be possible. Interesting.
Okay.
But hardly wise because of the sharing of emotions. It is exceedingly likely that anyone who had a knot of Murdral emotions in the back of his or her head, even to the small degree caused by the warder bond, would very soon go insane. Murdral may contain human stock, but they are definitely not human. I don't think even Padden Fane could survive that without going madder than he already is.
Whoa, good answer, Robert Jordan.
Good answer.
That's seriously mad.
Yeah. And the last one we're going to end on is maybe the most important bonding question.
Okay.
Could someone bond Bella?
Oh,
the horse.
And Robert Jordan's answer is no.
No. Okay.
Nobody could bond Bella. Okay, so.
No, I don't think I'd want that.
So it seems like there's some level of sophistication that's required for the warder bond.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the Murdral has it because they're partially human. Ogres are human-like.
Yeah.
And horses are horses.
Less so.
Horses are just their horses.
There you go. Yep.
All right. Well,
let's go to some more fun
so Spencer,
things here.
You actually did listen to our latest episode because we are incredibly behind in our recording schedule.
Yes.
And that works out for the best.
Well, not for us going into the holiday season, but that's okay.
But it was great for me because I'm caught up.
It's great. So you're caught up. So here we go, though. Last time, actually, you probably listened to it more recently than I did. So you'll have to remind me of things I said. So last time we were here, Rand and Min snuck into the palace in Camelin to have a chat with Nynaeve about some important Terangrials and cleansing Sidene.
Mm-hmm.
Nynaeve was busy with teaching Windfinder lessons that weren't really going so well.
Yeah, and teaching is like
She was certainly teaching. Ugh. Her lessons were edifying.
Hate it. Anyways.
Oh, yes, edifying. Learned a word.
Yeah, word of the day. But also, here's the thing about Nynaeve. She's being forced into some kinswomen dinner tonight.
Yeah.
That she definitely doesn't want to go to, and was invited by a Shanshan Damani on the loose.
Yes.
Olivia.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Nynaeve has a lot of problems right now.
Which makes a lot of sense.
And Lan ain't one. That was bad. Okay, so let's get into it. Chapter 12, A Lily in Winter. And we have the chapter symbol of the dragon because he is the focus.
Yes, not his perspective, but he is the focus.
He certainly is the focus. Okay, so we enter in an Elaine perspective. She is gliding down the palace corridor and trying her best not to run. And she's thinking, Rand bloody thinks he knows best for everybody, Althor. Which I love because it's kind of accurate.
Oh, super accurate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a really good nickname.
Yeah.
I like that from now on. And she thinks, if he manages to get away from me this time, ... Mm-hmm. And then she says out loud, remember, don't say anything about spies or Forkroot or any of that.
The terrible things that just happened.
Oh,
don't
my
tell
goodness.
Him. And we find out that Min and Aviendha are both here too. And I was super right about that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
They're all together.
Yeah.
Reunited.
And it's so funny because we talked last episode about it, but it's like in Rand's
end, I was like, everyone's reuniting. They can't possibly not at this point.
But like in Rand's perspective, debatably, it's like his current girlfriend with his two ex-girlfriends. You could make the argument that that's maybe kind of how he sees these two ladies.
Well, he certainly feels bad about it.
Well, and because like Min obviously knows and has communicated to the other girls that he's going to be in love with all three of them. But like, how much has she actually communicated of her vision to Rand? You know, like the girls know what's up, but I'm not. Yeah. Rand is still kind of stuck in his head, especially because he's from the Two Rivers and you don't, not polygamy.
Yeah.
Right. And we get that later when he's like, I'm the worst.
And Nynaeve's
Right.
like, yeah, you're the worst.
Yeah, and she starts like beating him with her thumping stick.
Oh.
But
Anyways,
yeah,
let's
we'll
get
to that.
there.
Okay.
Okay. So anyways, Min says, I don't tell him things he doesn't need to know. Relax. And then Aviendha's like, oh, you lie to him? And then there's like this super unnecessary.
They're new to
back and
each
forth.
other.
We get the dynamic. That's
Yeah.
really what this is. And Elaine is worried about how they're all supposed to get along with each other. And I have a typo in my book.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. So on my book, on page 314, it says the two women had been staring at each other like strange cats in a small room since they met. Instead of
Ooh.
ever since they met.
Yeah, I got that too.
Oh, I was
Interesting.
wondering because your book is newer than my book is.
I don't know. I read it on my Kobo and my pages don't line up, so I can't. I'm gonna keep looking for it.
Okay. It's within like the first
Like the
couple
first
pages.
page and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, but yeah, there you go. Typo.
Terrible. I found it. I found
Yeah,
it all on my own.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's right. It says ever.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good. I'm glad it's been corrected. Anyway, but there does seem to be some respect between Min and Aviendha that we can build on.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's like the initial, just like maybe a little bit not sure of each other.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that in the past from both of their perspectives. So,
yes.
But what's it going to be like when I meet her? I don't know.
Right.
Well, and they already seem like they have this sort of mutual respect. They're both really impressed by the number of knives and the knife flourishes that they've showed off already to each other. So
solid.
That's a foundation for them. It's important to them.
That's important to them. Yeah. It's a commonality. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get a few run-ins with servants that are like kind of weird. They're staring at them, but not even really because it's them, but because of the new super weird bodyguard crew that Brigida has dreamed up.
It's actually the worst.
It's so stupid. And like, how much can we actually trust these people who are in her bodyguard?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just this whole thing.
The reason why this armor is so it's ceremonial armor. So you get like the feathers and the fanciness and the big red hats and the whatever, the silk, the sashes,
lace.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that there's a little tidbit that Brigida is getting armor made that's going to definitely make it look like they're women. So it kind of implies
plates made
boob
for
armor.
women. Yeah,
boob armor.
Yeah,
which like historically apparently not accurate at all. But that's maybe what we're going for.
Boob armor.
I didn't do a whole lot of research into the craftsmanship of it, but anyways.
All right. Well, Elaine starts thinking about how she really hopes that Brigida is busy enough with her task right now that she doesn't notice until too late when Elaine masks the bond. So super early on, we have like, this is all premeditated.
Yeah, she's got a plan.
Yeah, she has a plan. And, you know, she learns from Bandine how to do this, but I don't think that she learned very well.
So yeah, well, here's the thing too, is we know there's differences.
Can talk about later.
Yeah, there's differences between the male, like a male warder and a female warder, and we've already seen that like the stuff that works on the female to male isn't the same as what's female to female, or vice versa. Like we've already kind of distinguished that, and it clearly doesn't work.
Clearly, okay,
or Elaine
but
just sucks
certainly thinks it works.
Yeah,
and we get from Brigida later it
doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, maybe Elaine's just not very good at continuing to concentrate on masking the bond while she's engaging in other activities. But anyways, we'll get to
that's totally fair too. So
okay, so Elaine has been trying to figure out how to evade the bodyguards, but it's not working. So they just have to come. So they arrive at Nynaeve's door, and Elaine thinks that Rand is on the other side of this door, and how she can't mask the bond until the very last instant.
And you get points for this because you're like, yeah, they're all coming in Nynaeve's room right now.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous on its surface. But
yeah,
I maintain that it's still kind of ridiculous.
It's all ridiculous. Yeah, but I couldn't imagine it any other way.
Yeah, so you got it right.
Perfect.
Okay, so Elaine tells her bodyguards, wait out here and admit no one. I'll only be a few minutes. And Elaine is very sure that they think Min has brought her here to meet a secret lover.
Not wrong.
Because nobody is being very discreet about any of this.
Yeah, but they're not wrong. It is kind of a meeting with a secret lover. Like, that's literally what Rand is to her right now.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so they all bust in without knocking. Nynaeve jumps up in surprise. And Elaine is 100% focused on Rand because he's here and he's so beautiful.
Luckily he's
beautiful.
He's not super ugly
yet,
which is hilarious too. It's all so funny. Every reaction is like wrong and hilarious.
Okay, also Rand leaps up when he sees her, but then staggers and starts like dry heaving and gagging and like, oh, my head and oh, my stomach.
Well, because then he probably embraced Saidin.
Yeah, because someone just busts into the room.
Yeah, or he saw his 2 ex-girlfriends and he's like, oh no,
I gotta defend myself.
Panic!
Yeah. But then Elaine moves towards him. Nynaeve is faster. And then Rand just like waves her away and is like, it's nothing you can heal. And in any case, it seems you win the argument.
Yeah.
Which, I would have liked to hear this argument.
Yeah. So that was the argument just at the end of last chapter where Nynaeve was like, I'm going right now with you. And Lan and Rand were like, no. But she's like, yeah. So apparently it's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a reminder for anyone who didn't remember.
Right. So Rand seems to take a second to take in Elaine and Aviendha, and then he looks right at Min and says, well, it's past time we be gone, Min. Let's go.
Yeah. It's like, oh no.
And Elaine goes, you are not leaving without speaking to me, without speaking to us. Like, what the hell do you think is happening here?
Yeah, it's a really funny reaction.
Well, and I think something that's important that we missed briefly is Elaine watches Rand take in her and Aviendha, and she's gladdened by Rand drinking in Aviendha as well as her. And so that's not an emotion she was expecting to be feeling. But she doesn't feel jealousy. She feels
like
gladdened.
Happy for Aviendha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is important given what's coming up.
It is. Yeah, it for sure is important.
Well, because we know from their first sister ceremony that Aviendha is jealous of Elaine's emotional connection, and Elaine is jealous of Aviendha's physical connection.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Rand looks at Aviendha almost in the same way, it's almost like, oh, we both have nothing to be jealous about.
Yeah. And it also seems like first sisters can kind of feel what each other are feeling. So it's like if you could feel, oh, I'm super jealous of you right now in this moment, that also would probably be bad, but
yeah,
it's all good. Seems all good so far. Everything except for Rand's reaction is decent.
Right, because this is where he goes, oh, you know what? I can't stay because the men who tried to kill me in Kyrian might attack any second if they find out that I'm here.
Super dangerous.
Don't trust any Ashaman except for a couple of them.
Yeah.
Stay away from all of them. I gotta go.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah. And then Lan speaks up and is like, he's right. Anyone near him's in great danger.
Shut up, Lan. Not the time.
Well, he's saying that because he doesn't like that Nynaeve clearly just won this argument to go with Rand wherever he's going.
Yes.
So there's that.
Well, and I will say at this point too, this is unrelated to what we were talking about, but they talk about Nynaeve putting her hand on a leather script, and I was like, what the heck is a script? But Brett, last episode you went on and you explained what a script is, and so I didn't even have to look it up now.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Amazing.
Look at that. More words.
More words.
I know so many words now.
Learning so much thanks to the Wheel of Time.
Right? Okay. Now, Rand sighs and is like, listen, Elaine, I'm super sorry about the Suldam and Damani that you got stuck with. But Taim is the worst. Yeah. And this is all his fault.
But also Rand makes it worse. Rand makes everything worse in this chapter.
He just keeps rambling.
Yeah.
But then what makes everything even more worse is that nobody actually shares important information.
And debatably lied directly to him about information too.
Which I don't understand.
Well, I know. We'll get there too. So here's the thing.
Yeah, it is so frustrating. I mean, because they're all here, they have this opportunity. It's like so many times. And Rand's clearly wrong about so many things, and nobody bothers to correct him or explain anything, and he just looks like an idiot and makes everyone angry, but it's not rectified, so it's just going to continue to happen.
Well, and it seems like even like Nynaeve in her conversation maybe intentionally led him off track or let him make mistakes. So it's not even just like an omission of information. It's like I didn't correct anything.
Right, because Rand keeps talking. He mentions Egwene as the Amerlin of the rebels, and then comments that the Band of the Red Hand is her army.
Which is not true.
And Matt can stay with her for a while.
Yeah.
But we know Matt's not there.
Yes.
Oh, also, Elaine notices Rand's physical reaction to saying Matt's name.
Yes, because he's getting
I didn't pick up on that.
We know he's seeing the colors and the faces and whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, this is when Elaine gives Nynaeve the look. Yeah.
And then Elaine thinks, oh, well, he'll learn the truth eventually. And I just think, oh my God, this is the freaking moment to share important information.
Yeah.
I need Matt to get rescued.
And like
somebody has to know that Matt is not with the Gwyn.
Share information about Rand's allies at a point when Rand needs information about his allies.
Yeah.
Like, this is important information that he needs to know or should know.
Is Nynaeve just like protecting Egwene to an extent?
From what though?
Rand.
Yeah. Well,
maybe. And his Black Tower.
Yeah, like maybe. I guess you could make the argument.
But it just seems like, I don't really know how she would be protecting Egwene. And it just seems like more of the classic.
Yeah.
We only tell what we need to know, and he doesn't need to know this. But it would be helpful if he knew that.
Something, yeah.
Like, is there some sort of feelings because Rand sent Matt to try and go and help / save Egwene? And a bunch of times this chapter, Elaine's also thinking like, oh, I don't want Rand to think he needs to save me from the assassination attempt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't want him trying to move an army back into the city just to protect me because that's the worst thing.
Yeah.
So like maybe there is the feelings of like, let's not tell him because he's going to do
Well, they clearly
stupid.
Don't have any political conversations.
Did nothing.
At all.
No.
That's
because we're on a time frame here.
Because I was like, maybe after they'll have like some important conversations. And it doesn't seem like they do.
There are 2 important things that need to happen in this chapter, and that is all we're doing.
Okay, let's get to it.
That was all we're focused on.
Okay, let's get to it then.
Yeah.
Because Rand finishes rambling, and Elaine is not happy because Rand was gonna say the real Aes Sedai in some of his ramblings, and he's getting a bunch of stuff wrong.
Yeah, he's also still talking about Alviarin and his friends in the tower. That's from like back when Alviarin sent the letter to him when Elida did at the same time. And then he and Moraine had the conversation about the note, and Moraine's like, what do you think of this note? And he's like, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Clearly it's all like terrible, but he's still bringing that up a couple of times about his friends in the tower. We've seen that a few times.
Yeah.
But
I did think that was weird because, we know he didn't believe that letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know then.
Yeah, it's all kind of weird. And it's also Rand's opinion of what all the Aes Sedai factions are, but he's working off wrong information because nobody tells him anything.
No.
So like I kind of understand where it's a little bit confusing for him because no one's sharing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's all kind of this weird posturing, right? Like Rand is trying to pretend that he has friends in other places to like, I don't know, show the girls that he's not. And maybe he's just trying to show that he's not, he's hedging his bets. He's not for sure with the rebellion. He's not for sure with the tower. He doesn't want to like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
We could read a lot into it, but again, there's no time for that now.
No, we got way more important things to get into, I think.
Well, it's just funny because if there was more time, like there's a lot more they could get into, and Rand would probably be in more trouble with the women for the way he's like, what he's saying and how he's acting. Like he hasn't been the best boyfriend.
No,
so
that's true.
In fact, he's been the worst boyfriend.
He's pretty terrible.
It works to his advantage that they don't have much time.
No, and that they're so in love with him that they're just gonna share him. Like, please. If a guy's like, "Oh, I just love all of you. I can't decide," and it's like, "Okay, bye."
Even if he's supposed to be the ruler of the entire like world / universe,
I think it must be Ta'Viren or something because there's no way this guy's this special.
Who has time to rule the world, defeat the Dark One, and have 3 girlfriends?
Wives. He's going to marry all of them.
Right.
It's too much.
Not if Nynaeve can do anything about it.
Right. Okay, well, let's get to that because Elaine says, you know what, Rand? The 3 of us need to talk to you, and you're not leaving the palace until that happens. And then Rand stares at her for a while and is like, I love you, Elaine. I love you, Aviendha. I love you, Min. And nobody more or less than the others. And then he starts like berating himself for being a disgusting person and how he shouldn't love anybody. And nobody should love him. And he's gonna die worst.
And stuff.
And Nynaeve starts freaking out. And it's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, stop saying these terrible things to these people.
Get out of here, Rand.
Well, first apologize and then get the hell out of here.
And then Elaine, Aviendha, and Min just ignore Nynaeve. And then they're all like, you know what, Rand? We all love you too. And it's like lovely and harmonious.
Everyone says like their own little way to say
and
it.
And then he's like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah. You know, my funny.
And not only do they say they love him, but they all mention marrying him, and they're
yeah.
We'll lay a bridal wreath at your feet if I can.
If you lay a bridal wreath at my feet, I will accept it. Which apparently is against Aiel custom. You should not say that. But
it's being very forward.
Too forward.
My favorite reaction is Lan. Lan doesn't want to be here right now because they're in the middle like smoking their pipes, and then he like stops smoking, then like looks around. And he's like, ah, I just want to see him like trying to hedge his way out of here. But
That's funny.
Good.
All right, Elaine changes the subject and says, "There's something else we need to discuss, but let's go somewhere else. No need to bother Nynaeve and Lan anymore."
It's like, yeah, this is the
excellent cover.
This is the point when you're like, let's go somewhere else to talk about things.
Yeah.
After you
confess all your love for each other. Anyway, so Rand slowly agrees and then tells Nynaeve that he won't leave without seeing her again. And Nynaeve makes a weird comment about like watching him grow up. And
yeah, she's like, ha, 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 you have to come and see me again before you leave.
Yeah,
because she wants to go with him.
Yes. Okay. And then Rand puts his hideously ugly disguise back on, and it's super repulsive to look at.
So this is the reaction that Elaine gets totally wrong here.
What do you mean?
So Rand embraces Sidene to redisguise himself, and when he embraces Sidene, he has his like sickness stuff happen. So he does a thing where he like squeezes his eyes shut and he swallows and grips the chair because he's like literally going through Sidene like
gross
taint, poisoning stuff,
whatever is happening.
And then Elaine thinks that he's reacting that way because he thinks he's too hideous to look at this way. So she says, "You're still beautiful, Rand." And then Min and Aviendha, they're like, no, he's the worst. He's so ugly.
I'm like, he is so ugly, like just so gross.
It's terrible. He's intentionally making himself.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just like, just be like medium, not attractive. Just be a very plain person, and you'll attract no attention. If you're literally the ugliest person anyone has ever seen,
whoa, I saw the ugliest guy today.
Yeah.
So much so that I didn't trust him.
And guess who we saw the future queen hanging around with?
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's suspicious.
Like, now that he's about to walk through the palace with Elaine and Aviendha and Min,
he
could have made himself, like, isn't he in charge of what the disguise is? He didn't have to be the ugly dude again, right? Like, you could have done a lot of things. Could have been like Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Could have been Lan.
Yeah.
Could have been anybody.
Could have been like invisible, because like he can kind of, if he's around, he could just like go invisible for a minute, you know.
Right.
There's options.
But you know what? This is good because now Min and Aviendha are bonding about how funny they think Rand looks and about.
That is what we need.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, they leave. They make their way back to Elaine's apartments, and then like the guards of Elaine. Are struggling with this.
Yeah, because he's so ugly.
And it's like, who wants to go into Elaine's apartments, and they're like, no.
Don't trust him because he's too ugly.
Yeah.
It is weird.
He might try to murder you. That's what ugly people do. It's like, why do people think this way?
No, Brett. I don't think you understand how ugly this guy is. He's so ugly.
Yeah.
Well, and in the guard's defense, you know, Elaine almost got killed.
Literally, like
yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know, today.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, I mean,
yeah.
If something happened and Brigitte found out that they let some strange guy into her apartments alone, you know, Brigitte would have their heads. Like,
to be fair, Brigitte is attracted to ugly people, though.
Oh, she'd probably like this guy.
So she might like this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
She'd be like, good one, Elaine.
Yeah.
Except for you can't just go take secret lovers literally the day after you've almost been assassinated.
Shouldn't. Shouldn't.
Well, it's like obviously Elaine and Rand have a little bit of you know, Rand keeps leaving the maidens behind despite it obviously always being a bad idea. Elaine's got the same level of confidence despite almost being murdered yesterday. She doesn't care.
Well, she knows she can trust anyway at this point. She tries anyway. Because so once they're inside, Rand drops his disguise and then immediately is like, I need a drink. And then we get this like whole thing, like a really, really long description of him drinking cold spiced wine.
It's because he's not channeling, and Elaine picks up on the fact, and usually Rand's the guy who floats everything around and spins stuff and, you know, flips chairs all over the place.
And then that's when Elaine is like, are you okay?
No.
And then Rand's like, I'm as good as I can be. Now, what is it that you don't want Nynaeve to hear?
And I'm like, what?
And Elaine is shocked that he saw through her brilliant deception.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's like, hey, let's go somewhere where they're not. It's like, why?
Yeah, of course.
Well, the deception, the lie that they want it to be not where Nynaeve and Lan are.
Oh, we don't want to bother them anymore.
It's like they know. Everybody knows that you want to talk about something without them here.
Yeah.
Like, It's like, how did he figure this out?
Yeah, okay, but straight out, she's like wastes no time at all here and says, "We want to bond you as our warder, all three of us."
Yes.
And it is customary to ask first, but that kind of sounds like we're gonna do it anyway.
It does sound like that.
It does. I feel like if he said no, they wouldn't.
I feel like they would just continue to press it until he said yes. They really want this.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, there's benefits on his end too, he thinks. Like, now I don't have to worry about you and whatever.
If we can all get over our stupid feelings for each other, like, and just move on with it. Yeah, let's bond.
Yeah.
But he's all holed up with that, oh, I can't love anyone and I don't deserve anyone, let alone all three of you and stuff. So he's got issues.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting too. I find with Elaine the hypocrisy. I mean, with a lot of the Aes Sedai, you get a lot of this like, we don't bond warders without their consent. Oh my God, that's terrible. That's awful. I would never do that. Disgusting. But then a lot of them also, a lot of the same ones who talk about that, you know, say that they would have bonded the Dragon Reborn if they had the opportunity. And Elaine here talks about, like, the way you phrased it is, it seems like she's going to do it no matter what, but she wants to have his consent.
Yeah.
But then just a second later, she's outraged about what Alana did, but she literally would have done the same thing, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and like every Aes Sedai we ever ran into
she's
after
just
the
pissed
Alana
off
thing.
that like Alana got there first. That's really what it sounds like.
It's jealousy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that, and also like who the hell is Alana to do that to Rand? Because like, who is she? She's nobody to him. I could see maybe like more jealousy if it was, you know, Aviendha bonded without talking to the other girls or something.
That
like
would not
I could see that as going,
nice.
But like I wouldn't even put the Alana thing in the jealousy category, more like the outrage category. Like, who are you to do this to someone who
I care about?
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, because at this point, Rand is like, you're crazy. You know what my future is, probably insanity and death. And then you know what the future is for anybody who's bonded to me if I go crazy and die.
Yeah.
You will also probably do the same.
Also, Min can't channel.
Which
guys,
also I'm still not fully understanding.
That's actually pretty easy one to explain. So,
okay.
But that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even really need an explanation. Like, it happened and I'm like, cool. I believe you. And we just move on with it. And I don't need
the interesting part is that Rand tells him at this point. So
he goes, well, and Alana got to me first and she didn't bother asking. I've been bonded for months now. And that you're being so super honest and blunt about, like, you haven't even told Min before.
Yeah.
And now you just shout it out.
So he might think that being a warder to one person, you can't be bonded to another person. So now would be the time to say it, because like if it failed or something, it's because he is bonded currently.
Yeah, that's true.
So it seems, and because then we get the explanation, like, okay, technically one bond doesn't stop another one. It's just like sisters don't do that because of custom, not because it can't be done. It's just because like who would want to share one warder? That doesn't make a lot of sense mechanically.
Yeah.
For a bodyguard
for the purpose of a warder. Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense.
Right. But we know that one Aes Sedai can bond more than one warder. It's just so obviously, I guess it can be done.
Yeah.
In the reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we get here. And then they're like, listen, Rand, we're basically begging you.
Yeah.
Please let us do this. And then Rand's like, you knew about this, didn't you, Min? You knew all along and you didn't say anything or stop them.
But not really, though.
Yeah.
She didn't know about it until like an hour ago.
She didn't know about the bonding thing.
Yeah. But she had an idea.
Yeah.
That something like this might go down.
And none of them are very concerned about the pretty certain consequences.
Yeah. And I mean, I could also make the
blinded by love.
Blinded by love.
Well, the argument I could make for that too is that Aes Sedai don't have as bad of a deal in the warder dying as the warder with the Aes Sedai dying. Because like if your Aes Sedai dies, then you go crazy and try and kill yourself, basically, is what happens to a warder. And for an Aes Sedai, it doesn't seem that it's on the same severity level where they're going to try to kill themselves. It's more like they'll feel intense, incredible emotional pain. But we haven't seen that same like suicide mission from Aes Sedai who lose warders.
I see. Okay.
So, little different.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because So we know that, but we have no idea how any of this will affect Min, because that's like totally unknown territory.
Yes. It's
Yep.
like 80% unknown territory.
It's mostly unknown.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing. So let's do the bonding.
Okay. So
Okay.
So we're going ahead with this.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're doing it.
Elaine embraces Saidar, links with Aviendha, and then we get a 1.5-page description of how Elaine and Aviendha and Min bond Rand.
Yeah.
Which I just gave up on the idea of understanding what's going on,
So
and I believe you.
Okay.
It works, and we're bonded, and
here's the mechanics.
That's fine.
It is important because Elaine got the idea for this from the first sister bonding ceremony.
Right,
where
because
you
you don't have to be a channeler to be.
You just need
sister
channelers
bonded.
involved. You don't have to be a channeler. So we get it where other people lay the weaves on you to bond you. So this is basically a combination between the Warder weave and the Aiel adoption weave. You smash them together, and it's pretty simple to get a Warder-like bond. We don't know if it's like exactly the same, but it's a combo. So technically, they don't know if it's gonna work for sure, but they have practiced it a bunch, and we're hoping for the best.
Okay.
And then it works.
It works. Okay, bonded.
It works.
Congratulations.
Cool. Except that
Woohoo!
I feel really bad for Min later, and we can talk about that. She doesn't get the perks of being a channeler and having a Warder.
Yeah. But she gets the other stuff.
Okay, so now we get that everybody feels each other's feelings, and basically they're all like, "Oh my god, Rand, you're in so much pain."
Ah, your back, it hurts all the time. And it's like, yeah, man, my back always hurts.
I never knew. How can you stand it?
Yeah.
And then Aviendha's like, "Ooh, you're so strong. That's so sexy," or something.
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
Basically
and then
it.
it's like, "Oh my god, Rand, you do love me." And it's like it took this for her to understand.
That was literally her issue, though, is she didn't feel like Rand actually truly loves her. She's concerned about that.
Yeah. Somebody did point out to us recently on social media that Rand was never the one avoiding Aviendha.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it sort of was, but it was mostly Aviendha avoiding Rand.
Yeah, that's true.
Running away from him at all costs.
Yeah. Rand did propose marriage to her. He's like, I guess we got to get married now.
And she's like, no.
But nobody wants to be proposed to in that circumstance. Oh, you're just proposing to me
Elaine
because
would. Elaine would.
I mean, well, okay.
That.
Yeah,
she'd
geez,
like,
Spencer.
yeah, let's get married.
Someone might.
Sorry. I guess I shouldn't speak for everyone.
Yeah, so we do get the description. The veins of gold is the feeling that's the like
veins of gold. That's what this chapter should have been titled.
The description. You want this as the chapter title?
Veins of gold.
Ah, beautiful. Okay.
That's how I feel when I'm in love.
Totally. Is it an analogy? I guess it's an analogy, right? For like love feelings?
I guess.
Okay. Because it's not like his veins are actually gold. It's just like the feeling of affection and love, you know.
I don't even know. I honestly don't. I bet some people might have an idea.
We have to get more like deep and philosophical, maybe.
I need somebody else's take on this because I don't have one.
Get a few more books of their relationship and then we'll try and we'll figure it out.
I guess I'm not really in love.
I guess not. I also do not feel veins of gold.
Well, I guess I know how you feel.
Would you feel your own though? Like if I bonded
Oh,
Brett, would I feel his love in veins of gold?
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe you only feel that
feel your
if you're
own
bonded.
veins of gold.
Jeez. All right, so let's kick that
I wish I
can down
wasn't
the road a
making
bit.
fun of this so much.
No, that's okay.
It's
very
pretty
sweet. Yeah, it's sweet.
It's actually like everybody's consenting, for the first time in these books in a very long time, and
that's true.
Everybody's in
There's
love.
some
and
communication, and they're like, we all love each other. Cool. Like it's.
I wish I wasn't.
Everyone's.
It is very nice. It's very sweet.
Good save.
Thanks.
Yeah, everyone's on the same page. Everyone's consenting. There was a discussion about it before it happened. In Wheel of Time World, that is
as good as it gets.
Really, really good.
Really good. Yeah. Very, really good. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Still polygamy, but it's handled.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. If everybody's cool with it, then everybody's in love.
As long as everyone in the relationship is happy,
if
then
everyone's
it's cool.
happy, I'm happy.
But wait. There's more than just the bond happening this chapter.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
The best segue ever written.
Well, Rand says, I sure hope you understand what you've all done. but I have to go now.
My planet needs me. Oh man.
But he says, at least I'll know you're all okay. I won't have to worry about you. And I was just thinking, actually quite the opposite, because now you're also going to know when they're not okay, and you'll worry
more,
a jillion times more, and probably offset some of your own rule the world plans to go do something about it, but you don't have all the information to go do anything about what's actually happening.
Rand never scampers off without a plan. What are you talking about? That's not what he does.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's like, this is good. And I was like, until it's not. I don't know.
So give it like at 22 minutes here, and it goes not good for some people in the bond.
Right.
Anyways, so let's get to
at
the
least
best
it's
segue.
not 3 hours long.
It's most of the day and
of
all
the day
of the
and the night. Yeah. It's a long time.
It's more... He's at practice.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's more practiced.
He's more practiced, so of course he can last 16 and a half hours.
It's probably not all
one session. I get
except they don't talk about anything.
They
and
might.
Elaine and Rand,
they might talk about some things.
Doubt it.
Maybe.
Oh man. Okay.
They might.
You have to get to the segue here.
Okay, the segue. One more thing, Rand, and then Min's like, Aviendha and I have to go. See ya. And then they hightail out of there. And then Rand is like, and then Elaine is like, there's something they have from you that I haven't had. You're gonna have to help me with my buttons. I can't get this dress off myself.
There we go. And this is the moment when she bundles up her emotions. That's Brigida. And she's like, ooh, Brigida's gone. Kerchief. So that's clearly a one-way. It's gone. Yeah, but Brigida's like, I can see you still. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man.
And that's good. And I like the clear cutoff because we're about to have a perspective change. We don't even get Rand's perception of that.
Doesn't matter.
You're right.
It's not about Rand.
It's not. Clearly.
I know he said he's the focus point of this chapter, but like
it's not. It's
is
Elaine.
He though?
Elaine is clearly the focus point.
I really like that it's so obvious the plan the three women had, and it actually goes exactly how they wanted.
Except
like
they really didn't want the bodyguard to know what was going on.
They didn't want to
really
feel the emotions. They didn't want to feel
not that
anything.
part, but up until this point, like oh, come on, man, we gotta leave. We gotta chat about some stuff. Oh, like before that, oh, we can't be here. We don't want Nynaeve and Land here. Yeah. Like it's just like so orchestrated, and
it feels like a high school plan where it's like you go on like a double date with, and then you bounce.
You're like, I'm gonna leave if things are going well. Yeah.
It's like a bad plan that like.
Yeah.
Like what happened by accident.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh shoot. I have to leave. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good though. It's good. This is all very good and entertaining.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Okay, let's take a quick break. I need a drink refill.
Sounds good.
And then we'll get back into the perspective change. All right, and we're back with our perspective change to Min. We are immediately outside of the bed chambers. Walking not so arm in arm.
Yeah.
It's a little bit awkward. They're walking on like opposite sides of the hall.
Yeah.
And then there's like a weird moment where partway through their conversation, Min walks to the middle of the hall, but is like, I'm not going to go all the way over to her. And
you got to come part way too, maybe.
It's like a weird situation. But anyway, that's where we are.
They got to get to know each other.
They're in the corridor where the two guardswomen are. We're going to rewind a little bit from what I was just talking about because I got ahead of myself.
Yeah. Because the whole guard stuff, they're like, what's happening?
Her taste can't be that bad. Like they clearly understand that Elaine has been left alone with the most ugliest man in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they're like, don't go in there because the guards actually make a move to go in there, which also, you could say
fair enough
because she almost got assassinated.
Yeah. And then there's a whole back and forth about, don't mess with Elaine.
Go in there.
She can be really angry. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But
it's fine. Well, and they're like, she's Aes Sedai. She can,
handle
channel
herself. So, except unless there's fork root.
Right. Except the times when
literally from 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
Yeah. That was a problem. Okay, so they just like let this happen, which seems like honestly a bad move. I'm happy they don't go in because I want, this to happen for Elaine and Rand, and that's cool for them. However, this is bad bodyguarding.
It's not the
I agree.
It's not the best. They're new.
It's bad bodyguarding.
I think these bodyguards don't yet have swords. Don't quote me on it yet, but they are. I'm pretty sure they're pretty new still.
Okay.
Maybe they do. Maybe I think some of them don't have swords. I can't remember, but anyways.
Well, because they talk about in the last chapter that they're waiting for like the gold,
the gilded, like swords.
But it doesn't mean that they don't have regular swords.
Maybe I didn't pay too much attention.
They're just
to it,
waiting on the fancy sword holders.
I could be wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, if we're gonna,
it's bad bodyguarding. I think we can agree.
If Min and Aviendha are like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Then probably we can.
And also, Elaine and Rand can both channel and like put a wedge under the door to block it, just in case your people come in.
Right.
Like there's options to block
an air wedge.
Let's get on with it.
Though. Okay.
Neither of them are thinking with their heads.
There you go. I get it.
Okay. I'm bypassing. No, I'm not. I'm going to say it. Rand is thinking with the wrong head.
Yes.
Okay, there it is.
And then
I'm not mature enough. I can't.
Elaine is thinking with her tickle heart, which I have a question about. What the hell is it?
Is that written?
Oh yeah, it's
in the writing.
Brigida.
I don't remember that.
I'll point it out.
Brigida.
Okay.
She's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like, if anyone knows what it is.
Well, I mean, I can assume.
I mean, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, let's get when we get there. Let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, because this isn't like a jolly bag situation.
It could. That's what I thought it might be, and then I Googled and I came up with nothing.
Well, yeah, no, it's clearly like a Brigida has a lot of her own Brigidaisms.
Brigidaisms, yeah, but usually they're based in some sort of like it's a thing.
Okay, all right. So Min and Aviendha walk down the hall together, and Min does some thinking about what kind of person Aviendha might be because they really don't know each other. And then she starts focusing on the bundle of emotions in her head that's Rand. And she's like, ooh, this is really fun and exciting. I wonder what sex is going to be like with him, with me, when I know what he's like thinking and feeling. This will be fun. And then she abruptly realizes,
it's like, oh no,
that Rand's bundle of emotions right now is like a raging wildfire. And she thinks, what could that be?
Nah.
And then it's like dot dot dot.
Oh no.
And then she realizes exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Then she starts panicking and thinks this is like peeking through the bed curtains.
Yeah.
Yes.
Emotional bed curtains.
Mm-hmm. So okay. So here's just dynamics we want to talk about. So it seems like the bond that they created has a link from each woman to Rand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, Aviendha has a link for sister link directly to Elaine as well as to Rand.
Right. So she can feel both.
Yeah.
She's really in it.
Cool. Okay.
I mean, so like hypothetically. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Now, Rand also has connections to Alana. Yeah.
And Elaine has Brigida.
Elaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of people are involved in this.
And Matt and Perrin, if they happen to maybe think about Rand,
they'll see it too.
They might get a flash of color.
I don't think so.
Maybe a butt pops up. I don't know. Like there's.
I hope so.
No.
Now Luz Theron is also
Luz Theron's there
having issues because his Ilyena is really close to Elaine, who's also blonde haired, queen. So okay. Anyways,
lots of moving parts. It's the most complicated.
And you know what I was thinking, and I didn't say this last perspective, and I should have, so I didn't write it down. But as I was reading, I was like, "Oh, good," because there's definitely room in Rand's head for 3 more people.
Let's pile them on. Yeah, it's diminishing returns. At this point, it doesn't matter. You could add in 100 more. It doesn't actually matter.
I was like, he is not sane enough for this.
Yeah.
This is not okay. He can barely handle the 2 in his head right now.
Rand's also getting like the flashes of like this new person who LTT's like, who's that? And Rand's like, who's that? There's like a new person in the mix too. So,
Right. 6 potential. 6 potential people.
Got a few.
Plus Matt
in his head.
Popping up whenever he thinks of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting to be a very crowded apartment when you're like, yeah, my buddy can stay with us for a week and they never move out. This feels. Oh, and then his 3 girlfriends.
No.
Come live with us,
And you're like,
now
hey,
we're
man.
all in Rand's head.
Like, get that this is a shared living room, but like, geez, stay in your bedroom.
Yeah, it's a lot. Never alone. Always, and yeah, it just feels like there's a large audience now for everything.
For everything that's ever happening in Rand's head.
It's good. Anyways, it's business time.
It certainly is. It certainly is. And Min tries to do the trick that Elaine told her to do to block out the emotions, but nothing happens because she can't channel.
And maybe it's not the right way to do it, or she just doesn't have that as an option.
Like, no kidding.
Yeah.
Of course she can't magically do anything. She doesn't have magic.
It could debatably you could be like Flaming Void
but it
is more a
doesn't
mental
really
trick, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, it could be something like
because
that.
it seems like the sweating thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Where like technically it's not it's not a channeling thing, but like
sweating thing. I just had to stare at you for a second because I didn't know what you were talking about.
Where it's like, oh, we don't sweat.
We don't sweat,
which is like
when
really
it's
bad.
Hot out.
It's really bad for you.
Sweating
you
thing.
should sweat. Sweating is good, keeps you from not dying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Not
a technically a channeling thing, but like
anyway, so we get to some big news.
Okay.
Because Min is gonna talk
her problems out
to avoid thinking.
Yeah.
And in turn, she doesn't think when she talks.
And she says a lot of things now.
So Min is panicking, and she says she should have drank that heartleaf tea. She'll get with child from this. 2 of them, a boy and a girl, both healthy and strong. And I had to just like stop and be like, "Okay, like right now."
Was that a viewing?
Like right now, she's
getting pregnant
with child from this moment,
seems
or
that
is
way.
she getting pregnant from this thing we did, from this relationship eventually?
Yeah, so it kind of seems like she is immediately getting pregnant here.
Yeah, from this, she should have drank that tea.
But what do you think?
Like
do you think it's like a actually immediate, and she like Min's correct about all this? Like, is this happening?
Yeah, Min's always right. So,
is it happening the way we think it's happening?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just like boom, Elaine's pregnant.
Yeah, which feels like not a great idea at this very moment in time. But okay,
sure.
She's going on.
You know what?
She's trying to get the throne. The last battle's coming. Let's throw in a pregnancy.
You know what?
And on top of that, a twin pregnancy.
It's good. Yeah. They're healthy. They're strong. Right? That's good news.
That's great news.
She's not like, they're not like the Aviendhas where it's like, there's
something odd about this.
So
oh my god, we're all over the place. The emotions are high over here now. This is big news. I feel like in a Q&A, people have asked me if people are going to get pregnant, and I feel like I have for sure said Elaine. At some point, I think you said it, that Elaine needs to be pregnant because she's got to carry on her Andor line.
Right.
Totally.
I for sure.
That whole thing. With her royalty.
Yeah. You need that for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's now.
Okay. So that's Elaine covered.
Which is like, whoa.
Yeah. And Aviendha's like, she wants his babies, but I won't drink the tea either if ... And then Min's like, well, good news there. No, she doesn't actually say it. She doesn't
tell Aviendha.
She doesn't say it, but in her brain, she's like, good news there.
I like that we're talking about this birth control tea too. Like, it's kind of fun. Like, they have some sort of contraceptive in Wheel of Time times.
Yeah.
It's this tea.
Yeah.
You know what?
Magical tea.
Love it. That's cool.
There you go.
I'm fine with that. Because I've always talked about, is there magical birth control? We've literally had this discussion.
Yeah.
Turns out not magical, but like
there is birth control.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, there's also like different ways to
have some kind of success rate. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
You know? All right.
Yeah. So Wheel of Time, man. You just like, get on board.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where Aviendha's like, oh, is that true about the you can see things that happen? And Min's like, yeah, I can. And then she wonders if she should tell Aviendha about what she saw about her. That Aviendha would have Rand's babies too, 4 of them at once. But there is something odd about that.
Yes. Okay.
Whoa.
Go.
4?
Yeah.
Quadruplets. It's a lot.
Is that good luck or is that bad luck?
Rand is so fertile. Yeah,
well, no, that wouldn't be Rand. That'd be Aviendha.
I know, it's the girls. Especially
Aviendha and
Elaine too. A boy and a girl.
And Elaine,
it's for
both.
So here's the thing. What's the something odd though? What's the something odd?
Yeah.
She doesn't say like, oh, unhealthy, like, 4 babies, they're not all gonna make it. She's like, there's something weird about this.
4 of them at once, but there's something odd about that.
Any thoughts?
Ooh.
Throw it out here.
I kind of have a thought.
Okay, do it.
But it's like not a great one.
Spitball ideas. Let's go.
Okay, I think maybe she'll have. Okay, here's where my brain's
Yeah,
going.
do it.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
saying it out loud, but I don't know actually. This is
Okay.
the only thing I can think. So what if she has like actually like twins,
Mm-hmm.
but on the same day, like somebody like Elaine, who already has 2 babies,
Yeah.
like dies.
Okay.
And then she like has to take, you know, she
Oh,
gets
so like
4
not necessarily.
Oh.
she has 4 kids.
It could
at
be like
once, adoption type situation, and like not necessarily Elaine for sure, but that's just like the.
I mean, that kind of tracks with Aiel too, because like they.
If it's like Mullane's,
Yeah, and they're
having
first
twins, but then it's
sisters
not
already,
babies.
so that seems
Yeah.
like maybe something that would happen automatically if Elaine passed because they're first sisters.
Yeah.
So it's like she's gonna have 4 babies at once, but there's something odd about it that she doesn't know for sure because it's all auras and little visions. Right?
No, that's a good idea. I like it.
Something along those lines, maybe not quadruplets per se.
1 baby, 4 heads.
Oh my
Be like
God.
a Hydra baby.
Jeez.
Yeah. No. Okay, that's
Nobody's pushing that out. No one's pushing that out and surviving. That's for sure. Okay, that's all.
There we go.
Okay, so at some point here in this conversation, Min notices Aviendha's face, clearly reacting to what Rand and Min are doing. No, Rand and Elaine are doing. Yeah,
because she got the double thing going on here,
right?
Too.
And she says, the trick didn't work for you either, but Aviendha forgot about it. Stops for a moment, does the trick, and is like, that's better.
Phew.
Oh, it didn't work for you?
No.
Poor Min.
And then so Min tries to distract herself by talking about anything. So she starts apologizing to Aviendha for being cheeky earlier. And Aviendha's like, oh, you have a good sense of humor. And then
Min made a joke about toes at some point.
Yeah,
toe.
But
then she's like, I understand. I yield. Maybe I can groom your horse. And I was like, is that also a joke? Because like, is that like a double joke?
I don't think that was a joke, but I think Aviendha thought it was funny.
It could have taken it as like a double joke, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so they decide to go get drunk.
They're really just like babbling.
Perfect.
Because there's a
like,
lot
what do you
on.
Do in this situation when your joint lover is also loving on someone else at the moment that you
facilitated that, and it's like, how do we feel about that? Sure, we can all be on board with loving the same guy, but like, this is all very new to everybody here.
Okay, so let's go get drunk.
Yeah, I know where.
Perfect.
I know what to do
for everyone.
Yeah,
it's the Aiel, advice.
Yes,
drink until you can't use your brain anymore, and then it's good.
Yeah.
Hey,
and then you're fine.
You having a tough time? Have you tried drinking so much whiskey that you black out?
Can't think. Okay, now this is a moment that I did the thing where I predict what's going to happen so it suits my own predictions.
Sure.
So at this point, Min and Aviendha go at somebody walking down the hallway towards them.
Okay.
And Min was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And I thought that this someone walking down the hallway was going to be David
Hanlon. Oh man.
I've been waiting because that prediction I made, I was like, that's why Min's in here, because Min's got to recognize, Min and Rand have to recognize
David Hanlon. Be like, that's the guy. Doylan Mellar.
Yeah,
and be guy. Like, this is the guy. This is actually David Hanlon.
He's actually a
bad guy.
Watch out for that bad guy.
Yeah.
But
that would have been fun.
Yeah,
didn't happen.
At least it would have been like something else, Yeah. This is like
Brigida being all pissed off.
Brigida who's not happy. Who's already a little drunk or something.
She does seem to have been drinking, and I'm not totally sure why.
Yeah.
But like, it's good.
Well, she was hanging out. She wasn't actually maybe she was having a couple beverages while she was interviewing.
Yeah.
For bodyguard.
But does it say she had been drinking?
No.
I thought it said she just wobbled as she
as if she had been.
I think she's just wobbling because of what's going on in her head.
That's very possible too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's implying.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's what I kind of want to talk about, because Brigida says first she flaming vanishes out of my head, and then.
Yeah.
So I think that lends a little bit more to what you were talking about, Spencer, where she tied it off.
She tied the GPS off.
She like did it right.
Yeah.
And then maybe lost a little concentration.
I think so.
So
and then things came back.
There's also a possibility of like she turned off the GPS tracking device, because we know that warders you can kind of sense where people are.
But she wouldn't like vanish out of her head. She'd still have the ball of emotions. You know what I mean?
But like maybe your GPS tracker goes like, destination unknown, and you're like, what's happening? I don't know.
No, I think that she like did it right in the beginning and then like didn't hold it well enough, and then it like came back.
Or alternatively, she did it right. They go round 1. She undoes it because they're just chatting and everything's fine. They go round 2.
No, but it's only been like 20 seconds.
But this is like literally their what?
It's been a while, actually.
You know what?
So,
well, they've been walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
It might have been like 6 minutes. Maybe it's time for round 2. Who knows?
But then, like, where was Brigida to get here so quick? So, I mean,
that too.
Okay. There's some possibilities.
There's some questions we have about this entire situation. But it's like, again, okay, I believe you. Let's move on.
But also, okay, so Brigida shows up, and it is interesting to note that amongst everything else, as soon as Min sees Brigida, she sees more auras and more images flickering around Brigida than she's ever seen around anyone ever. There's thousands of them flashing in and out. Thousands of them. There's like so many. And it's kind of cool because like this is literally like Brigida ripped out of Tel'aran'rhiod Brigida. Like I know she says she's not, but she technically is, even though we've got some memory issues going on. So it's just a kind of cool note that a hero of the Horn who got ripped out still has all these auras tied to it.
It is cool.
Yeah. Well, Min does an excellent job of looking at somebody, and she recognizes Hercules at the gym.
Yeah, but it's also in tied to.
Thing you always say.
Yeah, no, that is the thing that I say because that's how it is. It makes sense.
Hey, except that she's like, "You're Brigida. I saw you at Falma."
Yeah, and tied with the auras, and you're like, "Oh man, that must be real Hercules."
Yeah, and Brigida is like, "No, Silverbow's dead. I'm just Brigida now."
Say it.
I don't know her last name.
Trihelion.
I wasn't even gonna try it. Trihelion.
Lion. I like the lion part.
Yeah. Anyway, she has a whole lot of swearing.
Yeah.
And Min is like, "This is Brigida Silverbow.
Yeah.
The hero of legends. She's so foul mouthed."
So this is the tickle heart thing too, guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Tell me.
Oh, this is where it comes
up. So Brigida says, "Burn her."
Saying tickle heart is foul mouthed?
Well, here's the thing. She says, "Burn her. I can't concentrate enough to shake it off. You let me tell you, if she's doing what I think she's doing, I'll kick her tickle heart around the bloody palace, and then I'll flaming welt her till she can't sit for a month, and you alongside her."
I'll kick her tickle heart?
Is that your butt? I'll kick your tickle heart around the palace.
You know, kick her right in the clip.
Yeah.
Around the palace.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Because that's what I thought it was. Because you said it was. Because you thought it was. She's thinking with her tickle heart.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I'm not exactly sure, but it's an interesting one. So if anyone,
in the vagina,
and I googled it, it's like I've got no reference. I got no context. So if anyone has any context, please let me know.
Could be a butt, I guess.
Yeah. Who knows?
You know when you, or like the armpit? You know when you tickle somebody?
Yeah.
I'll kick you right in the armpit.
I like the throat.
Bottoms of the feet are also very ticklish.
Knees?
I'm gonna throat kick you.
Backs of knees.
I think it's vagina.
Oh man, okay.
I'm just gonna kick her
it very well might be. Like I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Okay, so Min tells Brigida,
so much violence.
We just bonded Rand as a warder.
Yeah.
And Elaine is celebrating.
Yeah, so leave her alone.
And then Brigida's like, "Oh my god, this is the worst idea anybody's ever had. This is terrible. I really wish Elaine didn't do this." But then they're like, no. They're trying to save this for Elaine.
Really?
They're like, no. Okay, it's just a funny joke.
Think of it like a joke.
Also, do you want to drink? Do you also want to drink?
I love Aviendha because she's like, I know what to do. Whiskey. Let's go drink. Come on.
There's
whiskey.
Usquai. Yeah. And then she's like, Usquai, huh?
She also pledges to serve Brigida as an apprentice.
Yeah.
Like she gets pretty deep. That's pretty, big for Aviendha.
Yeah.
Probably a thing that'll come up that we should mention that happens.
Okay, but then Brigida seems to bite on the whiskey. She's like, whiskey, you say? Okay.
Is that like Brandy?
Yeah. I can get on board with that.
Yeah. I don't know. And then she says, "I don't know about you two, but I intend to get drunk enough to, take my clothes off and dance on the table."
You know why that's important?
Why?
Well, because she thinks about it and then she says it.
Yeah.
And then Aviendha pauses and then bursts out laughing. Who do we know? who's in this, circle of people who blacked out once.
Oh.
So is this what Elaine did during her
Did that
blackout
time?
When
scene?
she was so embarrassed that no one would tell her what she did?
Yeah. Is this like
Did she take her clothes off and dance on a table?
It's not
I
definitive,
hope so.
but
that, you know what? If that's all it was, that's pretty funny.
and it was funny enough that people are like, ha ha ha,
yeah.
but not terrible enough that it's like
that's my head.
it's
canon
bad
now.
that they're
that
not.
Has to be.
I like it. I
That
like
has
it.
to
I didn't go there, but I like
because there's
that,
like the
Brett.
pause,
That was good.
and then she says it, and then Aviendha pauses, and like she laughs so hard at that, and it's like, what else? What else are we laughing
actually,
at?
that's really funny.
Yeah,
It's good.
All right, and that's the end of this perspective.
yeah. Let's all go get drunk. It's good.
Let's go.
Usquai.
Brett, are you drinking some Usquai right now?
I am.
Lovely. All right, so let's jump into the next perspective here with Elaine. She's waking up the next morning.
Yeah.
And Rand has already left, but she can still feel him inside her head. She thinks about what do you inside her head? That's
I know.
feel him, Spencer. Get
Inner
your mind
tickle
out
heart,
of it. Okay, she thinks about the events of last night and most of the day too.
Yeah, so it's like it went from the day and then all the night, and then
Right.
she's
It was a marathon.
yeah.
Sure. They must have chatted about like some things.
You would hope.
Maybe Rand knows more now about what's going on.
You would hope that.
Again, very optimistic, and I appreciate your optimism. It's good.
I gotta be at some
Yeah.
points, right?
Although I feel like, in that first initial stage there, I feel like they probably spent the whole time there chatting, just talking about how much they love each other and maybe a little bit about the other girls. Maybe no political stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Doing a little love bubble.
I really don't think that's okay. I just can't see that. Like Rand, we know isn't the most emotional of.
I beg
it's
to
not a bit.
differ based on his
Really?
next thing.
Oh, he leaves a flower?
You know why that's romantic?
Tell me.
It's a callback.
To what?
To what?
Okay, The Shadow Rising, Chapter 8. Rand is in the Stone of Tear, and then Egwene and Elaine go to his room to try to teach him about sighting, right? In that little encounter, and doesn't go very well. But then
No.
Egwene basically breaks up with Rand,
Yes.
and then
Mhm.
she leaves so that Elaine can
they
scoop
can make
him up.
out. So they can make out.
And then
Yeah.
Elaine's like, I like you. And Rand's like, I like you too. And it's like, wait,
And
do
then
you
they make
me?
out for a while.
Yeah. So then
Cute.
while Rand and Elaine are both kind of being super awkward, Rand suddenly says to her, would you like a flower? And he picks up and he scoops up a bunch of the feathers from his mattress that got destroyed from like the night before, whatever. He stares at them, and then he clearly, whatever he's trying to do with the feathers to make a flower doesn't work, because he had made one for like the maid of Tyr or whatever the night before.
Oh.
And then he's like, flowers are no gift for you, because it doesn't work. This is when he can't really channel all the time properly.
Okay.
And then he drops the feathers, and then he tries to get some like cloth, and he's like, I'll have a dress made. That's better for
He
the
was
Queen
weird
of
and
Aviendha.
awkward. I
He's
remember.
super
I'm
weird.
so awkward
then
remembering that scene.
Elaine
Okay.
scoops up the feathers into a handkerchief and tucks them in her belt, and she's like, I will love this because you tried to make me a flower.
Yeah.
And now
Okay.
Rand, who is better at doing things, has made her flower.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Callback. It's very sweet.
It's kind of a callback.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Also, what's funny about that callback is like, this is not Elaine's first time orchestrating a weird plan to get along with Rick. Oh,
That's really true. That's a really
very similar.
This is Elaine's thing, right? Her and Egwene orchestrating
Yeah,
this whole plan,
that's
barging
great.
in,
All of her encounters with Rand.
and then Egwene being like, "I don't want to be with you. Goodbye." And
But
then,
here's
like,
the
Yeah,
princess.
I gotta go.
Elaine, would you like to talk to Elaine? She's lovely. She like, oh, that's really funny. Okay, you
It's good.
know what?
You're on board with it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll take.
Yeah.
I'll take any of that.
Okay, let's get to the news, because that's good
Oh,
stuff.
okay. There is news.
Oh, she does do the weaving to keep
A
it
weave
forever.
of
She saves the lily.
Yeah.
keeping, which is going to keep it forever. And Moghedien taught it to her.
It's good.
Okay. So then we find out
Yep, here we go.
that Elaine's morning gets taken up with some news. So, surprise, surprise to nobody in this room.
Mm,
That's for sure.
okay.
That
Explain this to me.
Olivia,
Yeah.
the set free Damane,
The uber powerful, more so than Nynaeve,
the one
Shanshin
who
Damani
was
Chandler.
like
So yeah.
so powerful, and also said, "Don't worry, I can wander around so that I can gain your trust and also kill Suldam."
Right. She did say that.
Say
Yeah,
that.
She did say that.
And I said, anybody
And then he
would
was
say
like, don't
anything.
be found without a guard anymore. And
And
she's like, okay.
whatever. So it turns out she left during the night.
Yeah.
And all the kinswomen are all in a
because they just lost the most
fussy about
powerful
that.
Damani
Mhm.
ever. Okay.
And then turns out the sea folk have come to find Elaine because Nynaeve didn't show up for her lesson.
Right. Because she was supposed to come back tomorrow.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
And poor Talaan
Talaan.
isn't going to get to go to the tower as a novice.
It doesn't seem like that.
Because Nynaeve
Nynaeve's
was supposed to announce that.
Okay.
And she's gone.
Oh.
Which, yeah, like that is kind of sad.
Yeah.
For her. Like, I kind of wanted that for her.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll still get there.
Okay, that's nice of you to think that.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So Nynaeve and Lan are both gone.
They're gone.
Nobody knows anything about
Nobody knows. Which is interesting because I thought for sure Nynaeve was going to tell Elaine and Aviendha
did say that
she was leaving.
Yeah, I think you actually
I did.
You said
because
that.
You were like, well, how are they all going to get together? And I was like, well, for sure.
And she'd be like, I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
Which technically,
and
maybe,
I said they need to split up. Like I've been saying this for a while.
Absolutely.
But no, she left without a trace.
Well, there's a little trace.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Okay, nope, I'm corrected. That's fine. There is a trace because the collection of Angreal and Terangreal that were brought out of Ebudar.
Yeah, a bunch of them are
missing.
Including the most powerful of the Angreal.
Right.
Whole bunch of stuff.
And a bunch of other stuff too. And Elaine is pretty sure that the ones that are missing are the ones intended for a woman who's expected to be attacked at any moment.
Yeah.
So like probably some kind of shield keeping protection.
Well, we got like the jewelry sets and stuff. Got all sorts of things like that.
And a hastily scribbled note that Nynaeve had left hidden in the remainder of the Angreals.
Yeah.
And Elaine thinks that's quite disturbing.
Yeah. So number one, what's in the note? Okay.
Well, no. The note's not disturbing.
Okay.
Where Elaine found the note
from
Nynaeve in the Angreal stash.
Walk us through. So we have a few different things. We have Olivia missing.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
We've got Nynaeve and Lan gone now.
Yeah.
We've got the Terangreal and Angreal raided.
Yeah.
Are these
we got a scribbled note
like linked? Are they not linked? Are they separated?
Oh,
did Nynaeve tell Elaine like, "Hey,
Nynaeve and Lan are gone with Rand and Min."
Okay, yeah, okay.
Off.
Where's Olivia?
And Olivia's she vanished.
She bailed. Gonna go kill some Sultan.
No, I think she's returning to the Damani.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, well, that's the life she's lived for like 400 years.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that she's gonna do her darndest to get back to them.
Okay.
And then also tell where they are and where they should go next.
We have a bunch of captured Soldan here. Is there?
Yeah, we have them here.
Is there a disaster on the horizon here?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
No, that's fair. Did Nynaeve in the note? Did she let Elaine know like, "Hey, I am bailing and see you later"? Like, what is that? What is that?
What did the note say?
Well, the note said that she's leaving.
Okay.
She's probably leaving with Rand to go do some stuff because the thing that's disturbing that I picked up on is that the Angreal that were taken are for a woman who expected to be attacked at any moment.
Okay.
Nynaeve clearly took them. Elaine puts together that Nynaeve is the one who took them with her.
Gotcha.
She's with Rand, and it's disturbing that she thinks she's going to be attacked at any moment.
Okay, that makes sense.
She's going off to do something secret with Rand.
That makes sense to me. Okay, I wasn't sure how you were.
That's how I read it.
You know, that's good. That's good. And that's how I want to leave it. I just wasn't.
And Olivia, I don't think has anything to do with any of this.
Yeah. Okay. She bailed.
She bailed. 100%. She bailed either.
Yeah.
To just like escape all of this.
We gotta say the kin are bad at watching her too, because like she just like no one was available to come in.
I'm still a little bit
so bad
keeping them.
Well, now you are, but last episode you were like, I'm happy or whatever. That she's
no, the first
it all worked out.
The first time I was like, oh, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
No. Nope, I take it back.
I love it. It's great.
I take it back. Like you can't. When there's people who are gonna put you and your people you love at risk, like what the hell else are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
In this world.
Mm-hmm.
Let me clarify. But
not in real life.
Not in real life. I don't know. You also should probably protect people, but don't. This isn't moral philosophy 101. Like fuck off, Spencer. Get off my screen.
Oh man. Well, on the plus side, I'm going to spoil the next chapter title for you.
Okay, I think I've already read it, but I don't remember it.
Wonderful News.
Oh, is she pregnant? Oh.
You
It's the
can't, that's not
wonderful-
how that's not how it works,
Well,
man.
is it like a month later or something? Sometimes that happens.
Oh, getting a time lapse. I was gonna say she waked up and she's like, I feel
Wonderful
pregnant.
news.
Like what?
I feel pregnant.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, hypothetically, Min could be like, hey man,
You're
you're gonna want to sit down for this one.
Yeah.
You're definitely pregnant.
You should lay off the oosquai.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful news. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
Elaine drinks wine. Thank you very much.
Oh, wine, not oosquai. That's right. Sorry. Lay
That's
off
true.
the wine.
Yeah.
Elaine. Okay. Maybe we're jumping to somebody else who has some good news.
Yeah, maybe it's not that.
Maybe it's not this at all.
Oh man.
Or maybe it is.
Good.
Okay, and we're reading 2 chapters.
Yes, we're back. So we're back to 2 chapters.
Right.
I think for the remainder of the book.
Okay. And now you have promised that Tyler will come back in this book.
Yeah,
As
I
so.
had to promise him things for yeah, and we will suffer the consequences at that time.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
thank you so much, Spencer, for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. It was lovely. It's always lovely to be
I'm
here.
glad you can make it for this one.
Yeah, lots of fun.
It was really fun. It's interesting. It's a fun
We're
one.
getting there, hey. Can you believe we're in book 9? I certainly can't.
No, I can't either. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And still so much to go. There's so many things that haven't happened yet.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gets pretty exciting.
Yep. All right. So before you go ahead and bond the Dragon Reborn like 3 times over in a super complicated web of bonding and weaving, I'm just going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
It's part of the pattern.
All right, that'll do it for us tonight. But thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Margaret, Charlie Haz, Hannah Green, Lance Barden, Elspeth Ahola, and Adam, with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of this recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Plus, find us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. And as always, be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.